Christians have learned the New Testament for the first 1,500 years of its existence orally. They were not allowed they couldn't read the Latin or Greek. They weren't allowed to learn it, and they weren't allowed to translate it into any language. So all they could do is learn the New Testament or the Old Testament through oral interpretations of it. Okay, so 1,500 years of something that was so rigidly enforced, meaning if you didn't learn it correctly and if you didn't do it correctly, you would be killed as a heretic. Okay, so you have to look at
it was really important on who was telling you what, huh? You had to.
It was important. It was important that you got what they said, because if you messed it up, you could be branded as a heretic, and you could lose your life over it. And so, the importance of understanding that the way you were told was crucial to your well-being, and you can imagine how psychologically how that would affect you psychologically, okay, into where that it could do. And there's this dynamic out there, it's called genetic memory, and those years, hundreds of years, that Christianity was being imprinted upon the minds of the Christian people could have affected their genetic memory to where, as they grow and learn and seek out God now as an individual, as a personal inward journey, they're using, as you said, that filter of not only what they learned in Sunday school and they've been taught or their preconceived ideas, but also the hundreds of years prior to that their ancestors were indoctrinated with this particular teaching, at the pain of death if they didn't get it right. So, yes, all of that. That's why I guess the professor would sit there and say, we're not even going to talk about it. We're not even going to worry about it because it's too imprinted. It's everywhere. You can't. In other words, we couldn't teach the class. You couldn't learn anything if you were going in and looking at the eisegesis of every understanding within the New Testament or the Old Testament. So there is that is the mindset. But the thing about the Torah individual, the Torah non-Jew, the miracle is that they have to overcome that. They have to overcome that hurdle. And so, some of the things that, I did or that I thought that helped me to overcome this idea, because I had the doctrine down. I understood it. I got it. I was indoctrinated. I come from a Christian background and, and a lot of influences there. So I had to basically trust God more than I feared hell to overcome it. And that's the approach that I had to take. I had to want to truly desire to worship God as He wanted to be worshiped, and not as how I thought He was to be worshiped. And you've got to let that sink in a little bit. It's how how would we ever find out how God wanted to be worshiped? You got to then you have to take a trip back into the Old Testament.